Hey, my beloved Beaver Band, Mr. Sombarski here. I know that some of you have not chosen a passion project because it's been probably hard for you to decide what you wanted to work on. So I wanted to, again, open your eyes to this one opportunity of Soundtrap.com. So this is a simplified version of a program that a professional could use to record or produce music using, but for our purposes, it has so much more than you would probably ever use unless you used it all the time. So it is called a DAW, a digital audio workstation. So when you first log in, you'll see something like this, and then you can enter the studio. So you can record, they have different setups here. What's cool is that you can collaborate with somebody. So over here on the side, you can invite your friend and then you can work together. You can even call them and talk with them. You can record together at the same time. And then, you know, futz with things later if it didn't quite line up. And here are some examples of things that you can do with the program. All right, so it's pretty cool. You can do pretty much any genre from here. It's not like it has to be electronic music. It's just that that's what those people made, and it's kind of the simplest thing to do because there are loops that can also be used in here. Now, I'd recommend not going crazy on the loops. You know, it'd be okay if you're creating your own thing to use like one of them or two of them. But if you're basically just putting loops together, then it's not as creative or as fulfilling as making your own music. But different loops that you can put in. It's like this would be a good one. You know, it doesn't have any certain melody to it that would be recognizable by other people that use the program. Drum loops are great ones to use if you uh, aren't sure of yourself how to play the drums. Yeah, a huge variety of them. Um, so I'm going to show you just very briefly of some of the things that you can do. So I'm going to add a new track, and you can think of each track here as a different instrument. So like I've got a drum track there, and then I could add a bass track there. So you could set yourself up for a garage band right away. Now if I add a new track, and then let's say I wanted to pick drums again, they give you 3 ways of looking at the music that you're making. So let's start with the instrument one. This is great for live recording of it. And you can change what drum sounds you have over here. So all the free ones would be available to us. So I'm just going to pick that one. Now, if I wanted to record, I hit the little red button here, or control space. Gives me 2 measures of count off. All right, so you just have to make sure that you are staying with the metronome when you do that. Now, if I go over to the piano roll, I can actually see what I played. So this note right here is the bass drum. That's the snare, and then this is that tom sounding kind of thing. So if you don't like what you did, you can always record again, or you can actually adjust these. And you can also change the what we call the quantization. So right now I had it set to eighth note quantization. So when I record it, it will line up all my beats that I did with the closest eighth note. So if you aren't perfect, um, then you should use the quantization, which I would always use it anyway, even if you do think you're perfect, because it will make it sound exactly how you want, and then you can always move it around. The third way is the patterns. So this is kind of what I did. All right, so let's say, ooh, I like the kick drum here instead. So you can monkey around and move them in different places, but as you can see, if you add in all kinds of ones, it just sounds like garbage. All right, so space is very important when you're doing this. And you can add new instruments too and change whatever ones that you do have. And again, you can always change that specific drum kit sound to pick a different one. All right, so there's your drums. So I made a little drum beat here. So let's say I liked it and I want to loop that one for my whole, first 16 measures. All right, then I wanted to add a bass track. So I could do my bass here. So now you see this one doesn't have that pattern one because that's mostly a percussion kind of thing. So again, I can pick the different bass sound that I want. And then you see the keyboard letters up here. Or if you just wanted to, write in here, you could try it like this too. But I would recommend, if you can, play along with it live. So much more fun. So if you're trying to come up with material, you can loop your drum section. That's what this thing is right here. Little loop cycle. And then just keep it going and keep improvising until you figure out something that you like. And then hit record on it. And then you've got, that little bass track. So if you have any questions with how to do more with this, over here in the tutorials, they have some great video tutorials that go a little bit more in depth with everything, and they're pretty short, so you should check those out. Now let's say that I just wanted to record myself rather than adding in this instrument. So I could add voice and microphone track, and then see here it says the microphone that I'm using. So I have a USB microphone plugged in right now rather than my computer mic. If you don't have one, then just use the computer mic. All right, not the very best drum beat, but I would recommend having the metronome on and then put some headphones in so that the computer doesn't pick up that metronome sound, but you can still hear it in your headphones. Because if you don't line up your beat with this, then it will never work. So you may think that it's important in class, but you really start to see how important having the metronome is when you start to play along with this. And then there's some cool effects that you can add to it. Reverb's a really important one here. So let's say that I wanted to record my voice. So I'm going to leave the metronome on so that you can hear it. And I'm going to sing something crappy for you here. All right. And yep, that's good. Do 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 All right, let's hear how it sounds. All right, so already there's a little bit of reverb in there, but I just wanted to show you this one final thing because it makes a huge difference. When you have no reverb on it, it sounds really dead and flat, and like we don't like how we sound. Right? It sounds like I'm just, singing in a bedroom. But once we do start to put some reverb on it, it sounds like we're singing in a concert hall, and it automatically makes us sound better. Or if you go into effects, they got EQ and stuff already. And I'm going to add one. I look for a room. So it picks like a different kind of room that you're in. So I'm going to put it like I'm in a church. Turn that puppy up so you can hear it. See, so now you're not paying attention quite as much to the tone because it's being reverberated around a fake room, and it just makes it sound a whole lot richer. So you can monkey around with reverbs, and if you don't like the way that you sound when you sing, put on a different reverb. All right, well, that's all I wanted to show you for this. If you have any questions, remember, you can always let me know if you have ideas for something or if you want to collaborate with me on something. I would love to work with any and all of you. So have fun. All right, take care.